Greetings, YouTube. We could spend hours debating what happens when you leave your body from this planet. There are, of course, millions of answers to that very deep existential question, and I'm sure you did not expect to click on a video that started off with such an existential question. But I'm bringing this up because I feel like even before the end of my life, I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to see this loading screen. These eyes are haunting. They're piercing. They go straight into my soul. This loading screen has been my nemesis for multiple times in the last 24 hours. So here's my unfiltered, honest experience about what's going on in the game, knowing that anytime I give even a partial criticism, there are going to be those negative Nancys who say, look at Mr. Negative, complaining about the game. Why is he so critical? Why does he even play the game if he's so unhappy? I'm not unhappy overall once I log in. But several people reached out to me this week and said, Prof, you have not covered on your channel the game loading error situation. And I said, well, I haven't really seen it. So let me see if I encounter it. And then if I do, we'll come back to it. Easy enough, right? Well, I just kept staring at the screen over and over and over again, thinking that it would never end. And it felt like forever until I got a second screen. This. Failed to log in, non-optional refresh error on Connect. I have never seen this before, and yet this is now what greets me when I leave any Wi-Fi situation to go to a different one, or even if I turn off my Wi-Fi and go to data. Now, the good news is, once I encounter this, as long as I am connected, if I quit out of the game, haven't had to delete the app yet. That used to be an issue with some other login problems in past years, but knock on wood, so far not here. But yeah, you have to exit the game. You have to go back and you have to try it again. And I do believe the record for the amount of times I've had to back out and then log back in is 4. But eventually you do make it. At least I have. Now, some people have told me that their experience has been far worse than what I just described. That this is a screen that has prevented them from completing their Path of Alliance war. Obviously, prevented them from logging into the game in general, and worse yet, that this problem starts mid-fight to where you think you're going to win a fight, and then not only are you not able to complete the fight, but because you are logged out, if this happens in Battlegrounds, you automatically forfeit. Obviously, War and Alliance Quest, you take an L and lose half your health. And so, Kabam really needs to address this serious problem, but I don't know if they want to, because it looks to me like it's a more complicated problem than simply something within the game not working properly. And some of you have told me that you've seen this problem going back to 2023 and that this is nothing new. It's just that it's now happening to more people, and so we're talking about it more as a community because it's impacting more. And if that's the case, sorry that that's been happening to you for months, going back to last year, but this is certainly the first time that I'm receiving complaints in the numbers that I am receiving them. You know, every once in a while, I'll have somebody reach out to me and say, hey, Prof, are you seeing this? And nobody else has brought it up. And so I'll say, I have not heard that as a problem. This might just be what's happening to you. I'll ask them what device you play on, how old is it. A lot of times it is either an older iPhone or an older Android device. And Kabam has been quite clear that they want their players, when possible, to continue to constantly upgrade their phones because they're going to continue to upgrade their software. And obviously the newer hardware, on paper at least, can run the game faster and smoother. So for those of you who've reached out all week and you're annoyed that I waited until today to cover it, I'm sorry about the delay, but I do have 2 instances in the last 24 hours where I was able to add myself into this case study. And I think that's an important thing to do on a YouTube channel because, yes, it's nice to pass on others' stories, but when you have a first-person account of something that's going on, you just add further context. It's like when I tell my journalism students, you might think something's true, but if one source tells you, that one source could be lying, it could be skewed. We have a minimum of 3 sources to try to get a narrative. Even then, that they could be subjective. So all in all, the more people that see something, the better the data, the better the statistics. Nothing's ever 100% conclusive, but certainly from what I've seen, this is an issue that needs to be addressed very soon. Thanks for watching, and thank you for the feedback.